lights up. There's a little bit of contrast that gets injected up here, but but this is typically one of the ways that they can look at specific organs, like when we're looking at the liver, spleen. Remember the celiac axis where we have the gastric artery, the splenic, and the hepatic artery. They also, and in fact, most of the techniques that they do here are developed here in the Nuc Medical Center. There's a guy here by the name of Melvin Judkins. He developed a lot of the catheters that they use, especially for cardiac imaging. So that you can take this catheter and take it all to the carotid arteries, or take it up into the heart, and so we use some pictures of that.
So an angiogram is better than a renal?
Well, not necessarily better, but the thing is that it will tell you the specifics, but it's also a lot more dangerous. It has a lot of risk. One of the things that you have to do, you have to have a vascular surgical team available in case something happens, if they can't stop the bleeding. Normally they have to heparinize that plastic too. So they give the patient a lot of heparin so that they don't have blood clots forming while they're doing the procedure. At the end of the procedure, they have to administer vitamin K because that counteracts the effects of the heparin. Yeah, protamine sulfate is what they use. They also have to put pressure on the artery to stop the bleeding. And it has to, stay there for several hours. They have to monitor the pulses, the dorsal pedis pulse. They have to monitor that. Normally they'll monitor it before they stick the catheter in, and they'll monitor it after the procedure is done, and then they'll monitor it for the next 24 hours. Because you get a blood clot or a hematoma that forms in there and actually obstructs blood flow to the leg. And that's why the vascular team has to be available. Okay. On this one here, this is renal nephrotosis. Remember we talked about this. You typically have to take a picture of the patient while they're supine, and then you sit them up or you stand them up and you take another picture. Because nephrotosis means that the kidney is not attached and it will fall down into the pelvis. This is the kidney down here. It's hard to see on this one. It's a lot easier to see on this one over here. This is an oblique view. One kidney is up here, the other kidney is down here, and it's right in the pelvis. But the only way you would see that is by having the patient stand up.
So they lack the support of ligaments?
Yeah. There's nothing there supporting the kidney. And so if that's one of the diagnostic criteria that you're supposed to locate or find out, that means that before your contrast is completely out of your patient, you need to do one upright film.
Should we be doing that with every renogram that we do, or
No.
do they know that?
They would probably know that or suspect it. And the thing is, one of the reasons why they like using nuclear medicine is because there's actually a lot less radiation for the patient, especially now. They don't do most of this type of imaging unless the CT scanner is down. At our hospital, they would do it if it was an emergency room patient in the evening. They couldn't get him into the CT. Usually the CT people go home. They're like an outpatient. They're not really part of the hospital. So nephrotosis, you need the upright film. And this one's kind of gross here. We talked about polycystic disease, and normally it affects more than just the kidney. It normally affects liver, and you get nasal polyps, and there's other organs, the pancreas, the kidneys, they all get these cysts in them. And depending upon the severity of the cyst, like this guy here, it almost looks like the